Have you ever taken a moment during a soft rain to just stand quietly? Let the blanket of water still the world around you. It's an odd sensation. Oftentimes because birds won't be singing, having flown off to hunker down in their nests. The rain reveals sounds buried by the bustle of life. Creaks and groans as buildings wane in the wind, their old bones exposed to the world. It's as if you've been transported to another place entirely, plucked from the ordinary and thrown into a realm of heightened reality. And as the sun falls below the horizon and shadows lengthen, all kinds of things can be found. Welcome to Oddities. Here we take a look at some of my favourite details, moments and minutiae in games. So grab yourself a tea or a coffee and sit back as we explore together. ODST's unique open world segment, Mombasa Streets, is a perfect fit for this series. It's jam-packed with lovely world building and detail, all wrapped up in this lonely noir package. I was inspired to take a look at it after our exploration of Halo 2's outskirts. Here we have the same city, seen under a different light, quite literally, and from the perspective of the ordinary soldier. It's well documented that the story of ODST and the journeys of the Rookie and Sadie are based heavily on the Divine Comedy, Dante's 12th century poem about his travels through the various levels of hell, guided by his companion Virgil. In the beginning of the poem, Dante finds himself in shadowy woods surrounded by beasts, lost in the dark. He's saved by Virgil, who guides Dante further into the underworld. It's pretty clear that the decimated Mombasa is the Rookie's hell, and its AI superintendent, his guide. As the Master Chief ascends and explores the heavens, encountering divine beings, the Rookie descends, surrounded by the rot and sin of humanity, lies and greed infesting the city, now dredged up by the rainfall of plasma. The Covenant in ODST, more so than any other Halo game, are an all-powerful, unbeatable force of nature driven by unshakable ideology. They're not an enemy you can bargain with, they're not beholden to the same morality as humans naturally are, and our gift of the gab is entirely useless. This invasion drives humanity, the Rookie, back to a base state of survival through physical means, his dead silence accentuating the lack of diplomacy. Thrown feet first into hell, struck from the heavens, we, the Rookie, find ourselves alone here. The first thing you'll probably spot is this police car here, lights silently flashing. It feels as if the city is frozen in one moment, and the imagery of a rapture or exodus is apparent front and centre. I love these little cars that can be found here. They look a bit like those toy track racing ones. The buildings above us put a picture to the word loom, silent monoliths standing tall. I do love how, even after the city is presumably on reserve power, we can still see these huge corporate logos shining from their tips. One detail I haven't noticed before are these awesome shafts of light that intermittently shine between them from some distant source. If we're talking about ascension being divine, then this radiant light coming from above only serves to reinforce that imagery, as we're stuck down here in this lovely infernal black and red. In the next area, we can find these flares strewn about, with several dead Marines scattered in the streets. You can really feel the desperation here, revealing your position to the enemy with the small hope of being rescued. It looks like their plea didn't end too well. Without our night vision on, some areas of this game get really dark. I love it when games don't fake darkness and let you see through it somewhat, as if a filter has been put over the world. But real darkness isn't a filter. It's the lack of something. Besides bioluminescence, there's nothing natural that would reveal what's in these dark corners here. Anything could be hiding there, and we're forced to rely on every other sense. I love as we walk past these cameras here, they follow us. Even though we haven't met him, we can feel Virgil's eyes on us. It makes the city feel alive, as if we're traversing something that lives and breathes, and the scars of battle causing actual pain. It gives you a little chill when all you can hear is the whir of the camera following you. It really gives that weird sense of being observed. The scariest thing about the dark is not being able to see something, but that thing being able to see you clear as day. Of course, we have the dead elites here. I know this has already been observed a lot, but I love the way we can feel the ongoings of the wider world and story, even here. Developments keep ticking along despite our player character here. Our power to affect the plot has been diminished, really ingraining that sense that you're an ordinary soldier. Speaking of darkness concealing things, look at these lovely little lights here. They could be part of the city, perhaps it's some toppled vehicle, maybe a moving apparatus of some kind. But as we get closer, we can see that the darkness can veil even the largest of the Covenant's forces as these hunters emerge from the shadows. The scary thing about light sources like this car is that they make the immediate darkness in the surrounds almost darker in a sense. The brightness of the fire prevents our eyes from adjusting, hampering one of our evolutionary tricks of being able to fill in the blanks to navigate the night. I like these little lights that turn on whenever you approach. I don't know, I always found it kind of cute. This place here is so dark that even if I turn my night vision on, it doesn't help that much, just revealing the outlines of the surrounding structure and whatever is directly in front of me. This is one of my favourite visuals here, the burning Oni building with the decimated space elevator just beyond. It's kind of a little reveal that the burning sky we've been seeing as we traverse the streets has been coming from here. A monument to intrigue and espionage. And speaking of human sin, it's a place that's been hushed, pushed under the rug, lies concealed, but the skeleton still remains, with the Covenant here picking the bones. A cleansing, if we're referring to the Divine Comedy. I like these little flies that you can find around the lights or piles of rubbish. While you could view it as an infestation building in the city, perhaps foreshadowing what we find underground later, they do alleviate that lonely feeling a bit as we watch them simply buzz around without a care in the world, chained to the circle of life, but completely content. Speaking of rubbish, we can see some draft papers for the UNSC, which kind of ties into the anti-UNSC graffiti we see dotted about. I spoke in a previous episode about the need to keep civilian morale high, and it looks like the UNSC is struggling with that. It'd be especially hard when the enemy is here on your doorstep, threatening any promise of safety as they barrel into your ideological heartland. Your enemy sleeping in your home is such an awesome visual. It really shows just how much control the Covenant have taken of the city. They feel safe to let their guard down and make what's yours theirs. Grunts are pretty stupid, so it doesn't quite give the same feeling, but it invokes a sense of it. There's a slight haze under this street sign here. You can imagine that ash or smoke kind of lingers in the air a bit. Perhaps there's a smell of petrichor as the rain cools the burns of the city. As you explore, you might come to realize that these different parts of the city are actually copy and pasted with different set dressing. It definitely highlights that modular feel of the city we observed in Outskirts, while also imprinting that feeling of the maze-like underworld. You often feel like you're getting turned around and constantly finding yourself in the same place, looping, as it were. As we enter this building here, we're met with some of the most awesome visuals the game has to offer. The remnants of an interior battle, hallways layered with the bodies left from this desperate fight. The lights flicker as the city clings to its power grid, trying not to let these soldiers be forgotten. It's here that we're completely bathed in darkness, the slight flicker our only source of illumination. This ordinary place of work has been twisted into a graveyard, and you can't help but think of that hellish imagery of darkness and blood and loss. The Covenant and humans here almost feel equal in death, their stories having ended in the same place. The rookie here looks almost like a spectre, traversing the battlefield, above mortality for a second. Then we locate Dare's helmet, and the story begins to unravel as we uncover what happened to our team. I'll definitely be taking a look at the individual levels of ODST, as they have their own awesome details we can delve into, But for now, thanks for watching. Let me know if there's any details in this open world that you love, and maybe we can make a second part, as this is bigger than an ordinary Halo mission. There's so much packed into it. The engineer's symbols, Sadie's logs, the beacons that lead into missions. Lots to chew on. As always, let me know if there's any particular Halo missions or locations in other games you want me to take a look at. I appreciate you guys sticking around to explore with me. I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.